Russian forces continue to attack along the entire eastern front line, but this puts the Ukrainian army in a more advantageous position. Ukrainian forces have shifted to a defensive stance. While defending, they are inflicting massive damage, destroying hundreds of armored vehicles. Take a look at this video. A column of 4 APCs and 1 tank is advancing. The first armored personnel carrier hit a mine, and then the second one. Their attack was disrupted. One APC turned to avoid the battlefield, but was destroyed by an FPV drone. Here's another column with over 10 tanks and armored vehicles attacking Ukrainian positions. Here's the most modern Russian tank, carrying 42 rounds. It was hit by an anti-tank missile, leading to an immediate detonation and complete destruction of the tank. As they advance on Ukrainian positions, the Russians are losing almost half of their vehicles to minefields. This tank, equipped with a mine flail, detonates anti-personnel mines. They don't harm it, but shortly afterward, it's blown up by 5 mines simultaneously. Sometimes, the Russians realize that they need to clear the passages before an assault. This time, they attempted to use the UR-77 mine-clearing vehicle, but unsuccessfully. The vehicle itself was detonated by a mine and abandoned by the crew. An FPV drone targeted it, and it caught fire. Keep in mind that there was over 700 kilograms of explosives inside. A few minutes after catching fire, the explosives detonated, and the vehicle exploded, creating a mushroom-like column of smoke. Naturally, nothing remained of the machine. Once, the Russians attempted to use an improvised demining system installed on a truck. Russians were always known for their peculiar technologies. This machine was struck by an FPV drone. The explosives, in the form of a long cord, were scattered on the ground. Then, another drone dropped a grenade there, leading to a fire. But a few minutes later, the explosives detonated. FPV drones destroy a significant portion of tanks and armored vehicles. If a tank has been hit by a cumulative projectile, it will be almost 100% destroyed. It may continue to burn for a while, but sooner or later it will explode, as you can see in this video. Such tanks are not subject to recovery. This tank got too close to Ukrainian positions and was immediately destroyed a T-90 tank. This armored personnel carrier also received a hit from an FPV drone, leading to the detonation of the ammunition inside. Here, an FPV drone destroyed an armored personnel carrier in which all the ammunition also exploded. Additionally, an FPV drone destroyed another dangerous weapon, the heavy flamethrower system Solntsepek. Another part of the armored vehicles is destroyed using anti-tank missiles. 2 Russian APCs were detected by aerial reconnaissance. When they approached the required distance, they were hit by a javelin missile. One of the armored personnel carriers completely burned down as its ammunition exploded. Here's another case. With the help of javelin missiles, Ukrainian defenders destroyed a T-90 tank. The tank itself is not visible in the video, but the characteristic explosion is clearly visible. The tank's turret was blown off as usual, but upon falling, it also triggered an additional explosion. On the left bank of the Dnieper River, Ukrainian forces have captured and are holding a fairly large bridgehead, including an entire settlement and its surroundings. According to Russian military correspondents, Ukrainians have already started deploying heavy armored vehicles there and preparing an offensive operation to expand the bridgehead. They predominantly use Bradley infantry fighting vehicles. Practice has shown that Bradleys are the most resilient against Russian Lances drones, as seen in this video. The Lance drone hit the Bradley, but it remained unharmed. To counter the Ukrainian plan, Russians are actively using rocket artillery, firing at anything that moves, but it is not proving effective. The main offensive forces of the Russians are currently engaged on the Eastern Front. Therefore, Ukrainians have achieved partial success. On the right back of the Dnieper, Ukrainian forces are supported by the HIMARS multiple rocket launcher. Thanks to accurate reconnaissance, HIMARS suppresses the entire Russian artillery, thus giving Ukrainian infantry the opportunity to consolidate on the left bank of the river. Russians are losing dozens of artillery installations along with ammunition. Take a look at an example of such operations. Reconnaissance spotted a column of trucks loaded with ammunition. The HIMARS rocket hits the first and last trucks in the column. Then the rocket strikes the middle of the column. Almost immediately, the ammunition began to detonate and explode. Russian tanks are also waiting here. Ukrainians destroy them even before they approach, both day and night. Therefore, Russians have started using heavy bombs weighing 500 kilograms, and more frequently, hoping to break through Ukrainian fortified positions. This is perhaps the most formidable weapon in this direction, but let's hope that Ukrainians will be able to shoot down Russian fighters launching these heavy bombs. This is a Russian T-72 tank. In the video, you can see a high-precision German projectile, Smart 155, hitting the tank. According to Ukrainian military sources, this tank was hit from a distance of 19 kilometers. To confirm that this indeed is the Smart 155 projectile, compare the video of the projectile test and the video of the Russian tank being hit. This munition leaves a distinctive smoke trail above the target. The Smart projectile can be launched from almost any 155mm howitzer, and its shooting accuracy is achieved through special sensors and control systems, allowing them to identify and attack targets with high precision. In this video, we see another tank being destroyed by a Smart 155 projectile. Here's another hit on a tank with the same high-precision projectile. And yet another hit. Here, the characteristic smoke trail left by the Smart projectile is also visible. Ukrainian forces often use Smart projectiles to destroy Russian armored vehicles. This munition can penetrate tank armor with a shaped charge jet, leading to guaranteed destruction. Look, aerial reconnaissance detected coordinated efforts of the Russian anti-aircraft system, Buk, and radar station. The first Smart projectile hit the radar station. The second projectile targeted the launch platform. The exploding ammunition provided a spectacular display. The Russians still have no knowledge of what high-precision artillery is. To hit a target, they use outdated Soviet multiple launch rocket systems that consume thousands of munitions daily. Meanwhile, the Ukrainians can target objectives with just 1 or 2 rounds. If you've watched my video up to this point, please leave your mark by liking this video, and be sure to subscribe to stay updated on new releases.